to Cars and Conversation. In this very chilly Saturday morning, we have this very nice EVO 6, which is owned by Mr. Mahbub.
Assalamualaikum.
How are you?
I'm good. Alhamdulillah.
In fact, it's আমাদের অনেক আগের pending একটা shoot.
Yes.
So thank you for your time.
You're most welcome. Actually, it's been pending for over a year.
For over a year.
I remember when you started. We were just having a discussion. Let's do it. And I've been procrastinating like so much.
No, that's absolutely fine. The car itself, it was one of the first second converted EVO 6 in the country, right?
This would be fourth maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
But even now, for its time, the car is doing extremely well for what it is. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
So, small intro about you on the car.
Okay, so a small intro would be I got the CKD back in 2018.
Okay.
And তখন basically one of my friends, Adib, he had an EVO 6 done, and seeing his car and taking a ride in it, I just fell in love with it. I'm like, I need to have a EVO in my life. So তখনই basically the whole thing started. I would need an EVO.
Right. At any cost.
At any cost না, মানে obviously
ইচ্ছাটা
ছিল যে মানে basically I would need that. I mean, because তার আগে I have been owning a Sprinter for at that time almost a good 10-12 years by that time.
It was a 4G.
So when I got it, it was a basic car. তারপরে তো it went to an entire reconstruction.
Wow.
So I had the 4AG done and then it was built and everything. So ওইটা চালায় যে মজা ছিল. So that's a front wheel drive 1.6,
right.
And like
high revving engine.
High revving but once I like really got to know the EVO, and I'm like, I need to have a 4-wheel drive. So তারপরে I wanted the EVO. So আমার একটা জিনিস আছে যেটা something that I don't like is I don't usually buy other modified cars or other built cars. Basically,
it has to be done by you.
It has to be done by me because I need to know the nitty-gritties of it. So then the whole thing started. I got the CKD at that time. Pricey, but not as pricey as it is now.
As it is now.
So I got it back then. তারপরে I got the CKD first. তারপরে I had
the car.
And I had it waiting for almost a good 6 months for me to find a good base car. তারপরে তো the whole thing happened, and it was an easy swap relatively, because if the CKD comes in a good shape,
right,
তখন to make sure that the whole thing is done properly. So we have the thing done. My CKD came fully stock. It did not have a single modification in it. So the only thing that I got with my car was a pair of Advan rims. Other than that,
everything was
technically just bone stock. Fully bone stock. Even the exhaust, the air intake, the blow-off valve, everything was stock.
And in general, what we have seen in the past few years, the STi conversions and EVO conversions are quite well. But I've seen the STIs are much more easier compared to the EVOs.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. STIs are relatively easier. Their 4-wheel drive conversion days is
easier.
Way easier because it's already there.
Right. Exactly. And then in the EVO, like for example, was it too complicated or?
Not really. It wasn't very complicated as long as you take it to the right person. And the way it's done, if you've done your homework and sort of like research, there's a few veterans in this industry.
In the scene, absolutely, yeah.
যাদের কাছ থেকে we took some help, and it was done. I mean, I did it in 2018. It's 2025 now. So it's running, mashallah, fantastic.
Fantastic. And even now, the way it looks, as well. I think the other factor with Evos is that the car itself, at least for myself, up to the Evo 9, the way it looked itself was, a big, I don't know, it was so aggressive.
Correct.
The front fascia.
Correct, yeah.
And in Evo 6, the fenders as well.
Yeah.
But it was a overall very sporty look. And it felt like a proper rally car.
Correct.
If that makes sense. And this as well.
Just a bit of it.
The way it builds up speed. It's such a smooth and fast man's very.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean it had that. It has the bang from the back.
Right,
so
right. It feels so good.
Yeah. So, once I had it done,
Right.
the whole journey began. So the first thing that I was struggling with was the fueling.
Okay.
So because Japanese fuel or Bangladeshi fuel is so different, I couldn't almost drive it for a good almost 1 year motor. I was basically struggling. I mean, it wouldn't boost properly and everything. I knew that the car was fine. It's just that the fuel was and the mapping and everything wasn't good. So that a friend of mine, Zaire, he basically got the knockout tune done, deleted the map and put the map in EVO 9 direct a 3-bar map দিয়ে. We basically did an SD conversion and then the car started running perfectly fine. So stock power, stock boost, and then I drove that for about 4 years almost.
Oh wow, long time.
4 years or more I was driving it like that until only last year I thought I think it's time for a change. Power upgrade. So not much, just a very basic OnePlus OEM upgrade. So once that is done, I think it's a bit more fun.
Okay. And any other extra mods you have done?
Besides the turbo, so it had like supporting mods যেটা থাকে আর কি ওরকম রয়েছে. So I had an intercooler done, but those were done before earlier আর কি. So the intercooler and the blow valve, the exhaust system, all of those were done earlier.
Okay.
So when the turbo upgrade was done, wasn't much. So it's like an Evo 9 OEM Plus made by FP.
Nice.
So like the cold side is slightly larger, hot side is the same.
Okay.
So ওইটার জন্য basically just had to get a small pipe changed, like an intercooler pipe changed, nothing else. তাছাড়া it was pretty much pulled on it.
And now it's pushing around how much horsepower?
Well, VD it's about 320 on wheels.
Oh wow! I think it's the absolute perfect match.
It's a very
not a
sweet
match.
spot.
Sorry, not the perfect match. Sweet
It's
spot.
nice.
And how's your experience till now?
Like once I had the turbo change, I think I'm just loving it. Mashallah, I'm doing very, very happy with it. So I have been like aiming for a power figure like this for some time since I've owned it. So এখন I'm like really happy with it. Yeah, content proper.
Just a thought in general, like as in how's the driving experience regarding, as in with the Evo 6, because a lot of people, as mentioned before, that it's a bit too rough, as in the drivetrain, the car itself is a bit too rough for the city. How's your experience?
The Evo has a horrible turning radius, that's number one, right? So driving that in the city, I mean it's all good. There's like quite a few people who drives it, I would say on a daily basis.
Yeah.
I don't because I mean there's no point driving this daily.
Right,
so
right.
I have a daily car. So ATA basically what I do is I take it out to have fun with it.
Yeah.
So I drive it usually half a year mostly, because the other half I drive my other car.
Sprinter.
So during the summer and the rainy season, I keep it away.
Okay.
So I don't particularly like driving it in the rain.
Mm.
Not because of any reason. It's just the fact that I just don't want to.
Got it,
With it,
understood.
maybe for rust issues, future rust issues, and everything. So I just don't want it to go through the process
The
of
process.
just want to keep it clean.
Right. Understood.
So, ওইটাই
And I'm pretty sure এটা আপনি জানেন সবাই Evo owners and STi owners, they all have this this stigma around their hard to maintain, unreliable, এই প্যারাতে ওই ঝামেলা দেয়. So according to your experience till now, how is that point worked out?
So I first thing is I think regular maintenance into service টা যেটা. So if you do the service well, then the very basics of it is okay. Then comes is how much do you drive and how much do you thrash it.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
if you my driving style is quite different to some
Other
people.
Evo owners.
I wouldn't say other Evo owners. There's quite a few Evo owners who drive maybe আমার থেকেও more conservatively.
Right.
But I don't push the car much.
Right.
Hardly do I really thrash it, but I don't push it like all the time.
Right. Understood.
So I mean like regular drive kuri ole, even when I'm out myself, because I'm a very morning person.
Morning person,
সকালে উঠে I go for my early morning drives in the weekends. Sometimes I take my son with me.
Right.
So it's just the fun. It's just the boost, that occasional boost, and then adrenaline rush. ওইটাই আমার কাছে মজা লাগে.
Right.
So ওইটাতে হয় যেটা the like you're basically putting less load on the car. So as a result, like the ancillary stuff, like like suspension or like the basic stuff যেগুলো হয়,
Right.
ওগুলোরও maintenance একটু কমে আসে আর কি. So
আচ্ছা.
অত বেশি সমস্যা হয় না. But তারপরেও because it's an old car, this
Right.
is a 2000 model
Model car, yeah.
Mitsubishi Evo 6.
Right.
So 2000 is like 25, so 25 বছর. So in this 25 years, this has done about 126 in Japan, and then আমার কাছে it's done another 7,000 kilometers in 6 years.
Oh, only? আচ্ছা. I didn't know that. I thought I could be sure.
So it's 133.
133. Oh.
So I got it at 126 something. So
Awesome.
yeah,
Acha.
7,500. So ওইটাই.
And also the other point, I feel like you mentioned, the power of 320 is a sweet spot. But I feel like if you're trying to push above 500, 600, 700, often the factor comes in whether the car will be reliable. I think just from my point
don't
of view.
think I
I'm
would go
expert
for
now.
power like that.
Right.
And I mean, there's like the Evo and the STi scene in Bangladesh has picked up like massively.
Crazy,
Props,
mashallah.
like wow. So there are some cars, quite a few of them, who's doing like great powers, even with like stock internals and everything. Like with the right turbo and the right mods. I think like 400 is attainable, especially for Evo 9,
Right.
10, right? So 9 or 10. I think 400 is also doable, reliable, everything is good.
Right.
But anything beyond that, I think you just want to go into the garage more often. Not because it's breaking down, but just that you have to check things more regularly. Okay?
Yeah.
So checking, being sure at the back of your mind, like everything is okay. The fact that I've just gone for a drive and then I've come back and whether everything is okay or not. So anyways, you've got to do that, like no matter what. But when you're pushing so much of power, chances of things going wrong might be
Higher.
more. Yeah. So ওইটাই.
Understood. আমরা যেহেতু এই টপিকে আছি, so গাড়ির ফুল সার্ভিসিং এন্ড মেইনটেনেন্স নিয়ে how has been your experience so far?
Absolutely terrible. Because every time we all go out for refueling, we're like asking in the group, in the community, এখন কোত্থেকে নিব তেল? Like so, it's in the good practice book that we always update in the community, এখন where it's bad,
Right.
avoid refueling from there. Where it's good, if you want to, then you can just go and refill from there. So that's what we do, because otherwise the knock factor is bad, like detrimental to the engine, and we wouldn't want to do that.
Right, absolutely agree. And also the other factor, I feel like আগে যেরকম it was good or bad, এখন last কয়েক মাস it's bad or normal.
Yeah.
মানে গাড়ি ড্রপ করতেছে না মানে নর্মাল
Yeah.
ওখান থেকে না or it's bad এর মাঝখানে but এখন for the past few months good fuel is মানে there's
like a
hardly
dream.
any good fuel yeah
It's like a dream.
it's like a dream honestly
No, I mean, so in the community, so there's something called flex fuel where we put in the alternate fuel as well. So flex fuel করলে হলো গিয়ে it gets better.
Better, yeah.
Like so you. I haven't done it yet.
আচ্ছা
So if the next one that I'm thinking of is probably an aquamist, you know, like if I have a flex fuel, then maybe
It'll be
খারাপ
easier
তেলেও
for-
হয়তো I would better safer drive.
got it understood got it
So that is something that I have in mind. So let's see.
inshallah and car servicing and maintenance is it too difficult is it too easy because I feel like now the support as in the aftermarket support and servicing support for the Evos are a lot better now so it's a lot easier to maintain the car
It is better because there is more knowledge.
right
So তখন যেটা হলো কি sourcing parts or sourcing things are relatively easier because we know what to source from where to source it.
right
There are people in the community who must be mentioned, right? Prabal Bhai from DHS, Mahbub Bhai from Edison Motors, right? So people like them make it easier for us to sort of have the car and enjoy the car.
right
I know that if something goes wrong, I know that we can get it fixed. We can get the parts faster, or we can at least get the parts.
at least on time
Correct. Yeah, and then sort of like get it fixed. So, এটাই.
Unrivaled quality. Journey with confidence. Mobil.
So in the channel we do a segment regarding 3 pros and 3 cons
Right.
so if you could share 3 pros and 3 cons of your car
First one, like I said, the turning radius is really bad. Second con would be the fuel. It is so fuel sensitive. I don't know, maybe it's like you said, like we discussed earlier, Jay, it does require a bit of maintenance, right? To especially, I think because it's an old car, so not because of the fact that it's an EVO or an STi or whatever, something like that, or like a performance car. It's probably because it's a 25 years old car, so
exactly
you would need to have it checked or like be sure that everything is right. I think those would be the 3 cons. At least that's coming into my mind right now. In the pros, firstly, well, it's an Evo.
exactly
Second would be, I think, it's light compared to compared to other cars
Other
in the
Evos.
segment.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean even in the Evos, like 7, 8, 9s are slightly heavier than this. So this thing has an advantage in the weight factor. So this is lighter.
Okay.
The 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So these were lighter. I think the sheer acceleration, like how it just goes.
right
So I like that. I mean, compared to other, like the Europeans and everything, maybe not as much. But then again, like for a car of the age, just that fun factor is something that I really enjoy. It's like a driving experience.
right
So
absolutely
that's pretty much about it. Yeah.
and plus also the other factor I feel like as days pass by this raw feeling is actually quite missing in cars now এখন তো নতুন গাড়িতে তো কোনো ফিলিংই নেই
Correct.
but in general এখন as all the newer cars are coming out newer techs and whatnot they're really fast cars they're really refined as well but a part of the driving experience is the raw feeling and feedback from the car as well.
Right.
I think ওইটা যেরকম even the Evo 6 is compared to even the Evo 10s I feel like just my personal opinion Evo 6 has more or কি বলবো একটা একটু roughly একটা বেশি
Correct,
like
yeah.
hard to make sense of it,
Correct.
but because as in ওই টাইমে আরেকটু
So there's
I
a bit
don't
more electronics
yes,
in the 10,
in 10, yeah.
more advanced. Less of that in the 6.
Right, that's what that is. Exactly. And so আরেকটা pro লাগে ছিল, I think.
Maybe it's look.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the look of it.
Yeah.
I mean the whole package itself, like
Package
you know, like the look, how it goes.
And it aged quite well.
I think it aged quite well.
Aged
Yeah,
quite
yeah. Evo. I do like the front bumper of Evo 5 though.
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা।
Yeah, I like that more. But I like the weight of the 6.
The 6.
Yeah.
আচ্ছা।
So
Evo 5 has a bit more aggressive
front bumper, yeah, it's a bit more aggressive one with larger forks.
larger front.
Yeah. But this one is a bit more subdued. I mean, it's not subtle, but less than the 5.
And any future plans with the car?
I do want to build the engine at one point.
Okay.
If not anything, just to make it more reliable.
Reliable, got it,
So
understood.
get a stroker motor, and you know, like, I mean, it has done a few kilometers.
Few months.
Yeah, so I just want to make sure that everything is okay, and just make it a safer car to own.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty much about it.
Nice,
Yeah.
Yeah, the short pull if possible. There are a lot of cars, but very smooth pull, mashallah. And also the push it gives মানে very hard to explain on camera. Oh, so good, mashallah, so good. And honestly, like you mentioned, like, oh, which part of it I think
I think I did it good. It's just the
so good, mashallah.
cold weather.
It's the cold weather. Thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you
It
so
was an
much.
absolute pleasure.
Thank
Thank you
you
so
so
much,
much.
man. Thank you.
Pleasure.
দেখা হবে ইনশাআল্লাহ আবার।